Hi, welcome to Simply Scrapping. Today we are making handmade embellishments. These are for a swap, and normally I say that it's scraps to embellishments. But for this particular theme, I had no scraps that would work. So, so they're just handmade embellishments that I'm making for a swap. So the theme is stained glass window. And these are the embellishments that I have made for what look like little stained glass windows. Hopefully you can see that effect. So we've got a red one, green one, orange one, and a blue one. They are really pretty and so easy to do. So I'm using a retired die set, Floral Squares Dies by Stampin' Up. So that's the, I'll put the name and the number down below. So if you want to find it on the secondary market, you know what you're looking for. But I thought these would be really cool with something behind them to make them look like stained glass windows. So how easy is that? I just die cut these out. Each person's going to be getting one of each. And I've just used the black cardstock, die cut these out, glued them to acetate sheets, or if you are in the Stampin' Up world, the window sheets, same thing. I don't have any window sheets, I just have the acetate sheets, but it's exactly the same thing. And then you just colour in from the back side using your Stampin' Blends or any alcohol marker. So my alcohol markers are a hodgepodge because some have gone dry, some of the tips are no good. I've had them for a long time, so anyway. And I don't have all the colours that I wanted. So I'm using dark old olive, that's the green, dark cherry cobbler for the red, dark night of navy for the blue, and dark pumpkin pie for the orange. And you want a dark colour, not the light, because you want it to be dark enough to be seen. So I did some tests of some colours here, and I tried a few yellows and I couldn't get the yellows deep enough, so I went with the orange instead. And that, would you believe, is the old olive. That's the night of navy, that's the pumpkin pie, that's the red cherry cobbler. That was I can't remember, but it wasn't a deep enough green. I actually didn't want that green either. I wanted like a garden green, deep green, but I didn't have a blend that would give me that colour. And there's like balmy blue and pool party and stuff, and they're just way too light. So that was my test strip. And if you're really clever with these, what you could do, if you space them right, forget those two at the top, but when you cut them out, if you space them right, you could use the frame to make like a window. So you could put them back in the slots. So obviously you would have to glue it to a card front or something first, and then slot these back in and glue them in place. And then this would be, you could cut that around to make like a window, and there you have your little stained glass window. And that, I think, would be so cool, like really good. And if you didn't have this die, oh my gosh, they won't stay in place anyway, but if you didn't have this die, you could just cut a rectangular frame and then glue it onto acetate paper. Find anything that you want to make like a silhouette to go on front, and cut it out with black cardstock. So it could be a outlined flower, like with the hollow center or something, or leaves, and just glue that on the top and then colour in the background, and you've got a stained glass window. So lots of things you could do with this. But my swapping partners are just getting the 4 little individual swaps because I didn't want to limit them to colours, and they can use these on 4 different projects. So I had thought of leaving them uncoloured so that they could colour them, but I thought, no, that won't be as effective. So anyway, and they might not have alcohol markers. So do the right thing, and I'm going to colour them. And I don't like the colours. Can you remove this with the, you know, the alcohol ink? No, the alcohol, rubbing alcohol. I don't know if it comes off with rubbing alcohol, but I'm sure they'll find a way to use them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just make one set with you, because I have, you know, 4 more to make. When I make swaps, there you make 4 and you get 1 back, like a mixed back from other people, and I always make 1 to keep for myself. Now, the easiest way I found to do these is to just glue them all on a strip and then cut them apart, because I was trying to cut the little, I can't remember how it is, nearly 2, but not quite 2 by 2 inch square. But my trimmer was having a real issue trying to cut the acetate, and therefore it was a bit tough and it was going crooked, like it was grabbing and then it was pulling the acetate. So I found it easier just to do the 2 inch strips and then trim them down. So what I'll do is we'll just do these ones together. Now I've got to switch to from my normal glasses to my Chemist bought 2 times or something readers. They make everything distorted except what I'm looking at right in front of me. But I need new glasses, and those ones I just can't focus properly enough to do the fine work. So with the glue, you want just a smidge around the frame. I didn't bother gluing in the middle because I don't think it's really needed. So just a smidge around the frame, and it doesn't matter if where you're holding it you don't get any glue. You can see how I've just got the tiniest bit of glue on there, because it will spread on the acetate. And then I've got my piece of acetate here. You might not be able to see it because it is clear. And then even I can't see where the edge of it is with these glasses on. Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm just going to glue that in place. And then the next one. I'm still trying to get used to these tweezers. These are reversible tweezers, so when you normally squeeze to hold things, you squeeze to let go with these ones, and it just does my brain in sometimes. And I'm trying to pull the tweezers away, and I'm not squeezing, I'm just pulling. Oh, it's so weird. Forgetting that you have to squeeze to let go. Anyway, maybe it's just me. Does anyone else challenge with things like that? I mean, you've grown up with tweezers working one way your whole life, and then all of a sudden people introduce these fandangled new ways of doing things when you're, you know, getting on, and it's like my brain can't cope with new stuff like that. Okay. Now, they are all glued down. So it's really, really simple, and that one does not want to stay. Do I not put enough glue on you? Come on. You can do it. And then I just turn it over and spread that glue out a little bit more. So you can see, you know, it doesn't take a lot of glue in there. They're stuck down. You don't want too much because it will seep around the sides. Okay, and now we're just going to colour them in. So I probably need to put them in the order so I get the right colours. There we go. So we'll start from this end, green. And I just go straight up and down with my colouring. I'm not doing it in circles, but I'm keeping it consistent, because sometimes it does leave marks, and I don't want it to look like, you know, sometimes it's going in a straight line, sometimes it's going around in circles. Right, so the tip of my, what is this, pumpkin pie is no good. So I'm thinking that is why this one is looking a little bit different to the others. And when it's a big area, I try to do big strokes to cover the whole area as much as I can. You don't need to cover the whole back. Did I already say that? Probably, who knows. Red, cherry cobbler. And the blue. And these are squeaky. And because they're alcohol markers, they dry pretty quickly. So that first one is dry already. So I'm going to go over with a second coat just to make them a little bit darker. Personal preference, you could leave them with just one coat. It doesn't matter if you go outside the lines like I did there. Just going to cut them apart anyway. Alright. And then blue. Oh gosh, this one might have still been a little bit wet. Never mind. Still look really cool. And then I didn't do that middle of the flower, did I? Anyway, right. That's how simple they are to do. And then I'm just cutting it over, turning it over to cut them out because then I can follow the black frame easier. If you don't cut this perfectly, it's really not going to be seen because it is clear. One. Oh my gosh, I can't pick them up. Don't they look so cool? I think they look really cool. One more. Okay, and there we have our stained glass window embellishments. And I'll make the others later. I'm not going to make you sit through watching me make 3 more sets. But there you go. Aren't they really cool and so easy to do? If you're interested in swapping handmade embellishments, these are for the Girls Down Under Facebook group. So we are a group of scrappers from Australia and New Zealand, and we do weekly swaps and other challenges. So if you'd like to get involved, I will have the group linked below, and we'd love for you to join us. If you've liked these embellishments, give me the thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing, hitting that notify bell so you know when my next video comes out. Thank you so much for watching, and have a scrap happy day. Bye bye.